Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's Rob Loves Arguing. I apologize for our hiatus. I came down with a terrible case of World Cup fever, as I know a lot of us are feeling. And so I had to deal with some... This was the exact embarrassment that I had went into this World Cup expecting it to be for the city of Toronto.
No, don't worry.
Okay. I have no idea what other cities are experiencing with the World Cup, but it's not going great here.
Yeah.
I would say none of the businesses. I mean, you're too far away. I think that'd be affected.
Oh yeah. Oh, the mic is going in and out. Sorry, keep going.
Are we? Do I gotta stop touching it there?
Maybe, but I can always switch your cord if you do not want to deal with that. I got.
It's fine. Cords. Whatever. I'm a fucking professional. I was in Barrie, Ontario last night performing to 25 people, 8 of whom were brought by the social media manager of the gig, who didn't shut the fuck up the entire show. I was going to be polite about this, but lady, I hope you see this. It was crazy.
Off stage, she was making noise?
They sat in the fucking front table and just talked the whole show. It was one of these guys, and I haven't dealt with this in like a long time. Is it still cutting in and out a little bit?
No.
Okay. I asked him what his job was, and he said, "I'm gay." Like,
he's a prostitute, maybe.
Well, it's just one of these, like, and it's been a long time since I've dealt with a dude kind of like this. He's like sort of a guy from a time gone by.
Yeah.
Where like, remember when a personality could just be that you knew Anchorman quotes at some point? You know what I mean? Like, that could just be your thing.
Yeah.
You could exist among a group of friends because one time in high school, that group of friends all enjoyed a movie together, and you have continually beat this movie to death in front of them.
Yeah.
And they'll get the whatever endorphins saying those lines, whatever. So like, that's what I picture I'm gay being, like he seems like a guy that's sort of been his personality is like...
I somewhat respect him because he's doing that now.
That's what I'm saying. There's almost something vintage about it at this point, where like I referred to him as sort of a Sean William Scott.
Sure.
Does that make sense? Like a Stifler.
Well, Stifler, because Sean William Scott, I'll also give it to him, did a great job of changing up his career completely.
What did I see that who's just in recently? Is he still working?
I don't know if what he's like been recently in. Even if like now it's slowed down, you got to give it to him. Like he did like stuff like Goon and like more like I'm not the funny guy in the movie anymore.
He seemed like he had dinner with Jay Baruchel. Then like fixed his shit a little bit. He took a Fred Durst path of sort of understanding that he at some point went from making the jokes to becoming the joke.
Yeah.
And then kind of, once you get that you're the joke, this is why I implore Nickelback, like, let me do a show with you. Let me instruct you on how, look at what Creed is doing right now. Nickelback needs to hit that Creed wave. I think it's the best idea for a show. It's a version of America's Got Talent or American Idol or whatever it is. American Idol, because it should be strictly singing. But it's Chad Kroeger judges your singing now. And like you go on the road and people audition and you get to sing for Chad Kroeger and he gets to tell you that you suck. You know what I mean? Like just a nice redemption arc for Chad Kroeger. Because I hear he's like the best guy.
Oh, like nice guy.
Yeah. That documentary, I think that was the miss. It was taking themselves too seriously instead of, again, like Fred Durst, Limp Bizkit's last album, Dad Vibes. He really like leaned in on like what everyone thought about him and kind of made it funny.
Yeah.
Whereas Nickelback was like, I don't think we sucked. Why do you think we sucked?
Stop saying that.
Yeah. And you're like, Dad, don't. Like lean into "We Suck." How would Nickelback's next hit should be "We Suck and We're Rich," or you know what I mean? Like lean in. Who cares?
Do you know what I think the problem might be? The difference between those two bands is that Fred Durst, Limp Bizkit, their type of music just became it'll never be cool again. I'm not saying it won't be, but like that was the
it's
feeling.
actually literally currently cool.
Sure, yeah. I'm just saying. Like,
I know you don't know, but I'm like it is.
Well, what I mean
it's
is
having its moment.
When they went in their low, that was like the talk of the town or whatever.
Yeah.
This will never be cool again. That's what you are. Your disco, it's done. Right? That was the feeling that he went through. Nickelback went through that in terms of popular music, where people were like, some people were enjoying it. I think probably enjoying it more than they'll admit nowadays.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm obsessed with bands that people used to fucking love and now will lie about.
This is why I've always been, my Limp Bizkit thing started as sort of an ironic defense, because I was going like the same thing you're saying.
Yeah.
You're all full of shit. You all loved it.
Yep.
And I don't like this snobby attitude you all have now after you all loved it so much. So like I have a Limp Bizkit throw pillow in my apartment. Like like a $3 bill y'all little pillow, just the album cover on a pillow. That I got that before I started really kind of re-immersing myself in Limp Bizkit, because I was sort of just like, fuck all you. Like Limp Bizkit's cool, Limp Bizkit was cool, shut up. Then now Limp Bizkit's cool again. Like they actually did go all the way back around and get back to cool. And now I just like, I went to the concert last year. It was a great time. If they come back again, I'll see them again. So, but
yeah, I was going to say is I think Nickelback, unfortunately, they never had the same valley, because oddly enough, I do think there was like maybe small town country guys or whatever that in their culture, they never went, Nickelback sucks.
They never turned their back fully. I mean, possibly,
I think so.
But I think you could probably make the same argument for Limp Bizkit. Like there was the Me's that sort of always stood our ground on the biscuit. You know,
maybe I just it feels less. You know what it is? It's just I remember even as I was like, oh, everyone's pretending they didn't like Nickelback. Now I didn't, but it's not because I hated them. But everyone is pretending like they don't like Nickelback. I remember thinking it wasn't everyone. Like if you went to like fucking Sarnia and went to a bar, they were going to play it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that there was ever a time in the world that if you put Nookie on at a bar, that people weren't going to fucking sing along to it.
That's fair. That's a different thing. Yeah.
There's like these bands do always. I think a big thing that I don't know if you saw, this is weird that this episode is becoming Limp Bizkit focused, but that's fine. There was a great video. They played Grease for the first time this year. They had never done Grease before for some reason. And it's unreal, like how cool this concert fucking looks.
Yeah.
Like Limp Bizkit didn't do what a lot of other metal bands do. This is the misconception that people have. Metal bands never go away. They go to Europe. They tour Europe. They stay big in Europe. They never dwindle in audience whatsoever. Korn has never had to stop playing stadiums in Europe.
Right.
They've always been able to maintain Iron Maiden, Anthrax, all the metal bands just kind of, they do America still because they still have their audience here too, obviously, but they never get eye rolled out of Europe. They're always okay there.
I think to be fair, Iron Maiden not getting eye rolled even here.
Sure,
they have
but
a little more long lasting.
Yeah, see,
respect.
I guess I almost eye roll Iron Maiden a little bit.
Okay.
It's very strange that they're like the most protective about their fucking like license. Like if you ever make a repro Iron Maiden shirt, they're like the first ones to sue you. But then they also just license their shit out to like Giant Tiger and fucking like H&M. Like they're whores with their licensing, but then if you infringe on it, they're very territorial. It's strange.
Well, yeah, it's whore fucks a bunch of guys, but this is my block.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, fair enough. That's they want their money. I'm sure Kiss is probably similar. I feel like they're just sort of British Kiss in some way.
Yeah.
Though
I don't know enough about Iron Maiden. I know I had checked out their music. And I liked it.
Run to the hills.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Run for your life.
Yeah. A lot of metal that I discovered was because one of my best friends to this day, we go on camping trips and he only listens to metal. So I download metal hour-long playlists.
Sick. Okay.
And then just like play that for him to like you know so that he doesn't have to listen
Pacify
to
him.
Yeah.
Chutney.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna go all chutney.
I'm
on
always
him.
I'm just gonna spend my entire life assuming you listen to nothing but chutney.
No. It's
Chutney and Nas.
a lot of not
Just chutney and Nas.
Actually, even it's fun. Not favorite thing to listen to is probably hip hop wise is Wu-Tang. I'm more of a Wu-Tang guy. But Nas, yeah. But no, Chutney's like a.
Can you rank all 98 Wu-Tang members starting from the worst to the best?
The worst, I guess, has to be Christ Killer. He's the one who chopped off his dick.
Okay.
Yeah. And then.
Is this like a membership group now? Like, do you pay to be part of the Wu-Tang Clan?
So you know what the Wu-Tang Clan is like the NWO a little bit.
Sure.
Where it's like, yeah, they're members, but they're not. Now we're going to create the Wolf Pack, which is the Wu-Tang Clan, and then you have Wu affiliates.
Sure.
So they're not actually.
But don't they let the affiliates be on stage with them whatever?
Yeah,
so you
for
kind of
sure.
fuck it up a little bit.
Sure,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah. But if somebody asked who's in the Wu-Tang Clan, you wouldn't name all those things because it's
Is there like country affiliate? Is there like a Japanese Wu-Tang? Because that's what they should have done.
You know what? It's just a confusing thing in that it's like New York City or like New Jersey is also the state Jersey or whatever. Like it's the same name twice. That thing that the U.S. does a lot for some reason. The Wu-Tang Clan is New York.
Yes.
And then everybody who's in the Wu-Tang Clan is part of the Wu-Tang Clan, but they're part of New York State, not New York City.
Okay.
The Wu-Tang Clan is New York City, and that's the one we really care about.
So okay. Are you saying they're literally from the state of New York, the rest of them? Or is this a metaphor?
No. This is a metaphor.
All right.
in that
I was going to say, thank God.
for some reason.
Yo, Christ Killer from Albany, New York. Like, oh, he's up there in Schenectady keeping his bars tight, son.
They do have some out there. I forget where there's.
He's from Utica.
There was the Jewish one. What was his name? Remedy?
He was in the Tom Green movie Road Trip.
Yeah, there's what they have a Jewish one. There's a guy. I think
Hell yeah.
I want to say his name is Remedy or something.
It should be like Iron Dome.
He's actually pretty close to the guys. Like he's a little.
Well, yeah, he's the agent.
Yeah.
He's cutting all their contracts. Of course, he's close.
Fair enough. I'm just saying. Surprisingly, their one Jewish member is not like he's not a lower tier Wu affiliate.
Yeah.
He if I watched an interview with the RZA where they asked him about some of the Wu affiliates, like, do you really know these people or whatever?
Okay.
And a lot of them, he was like, yeah. And then when they brought up a guy's name, I forget his name, he's like, oh yeah, no, of course I know him. Yeah, he's great.
He wasn't real.
Yeah. No. I'm saying he was real. The Jewish one, whatever his name is, he was actually like, oh no, of course I know him. Like that was like a little more close to the thing.
Okay. All right.
Maybe that's what Nickelback needs. Nickelback affiliates. Nickel affiliates.
Hold on. No celebrities who have been accused of anti-Semitism. I was gonna rank for a second, like who of all the celebrities who have been accused of anti-Semitism over the years, like now that everyone kind of is mad at Jews, like who is the most forgiven? Because I think I mentioned probably on the pod that Mel Gibson's going to be at Fan Expo this year.
Oh, I can't remember if you mentioned that.
Isn't that Fan Expo? Yeah. He's like the big celeb this year is Mel Gibson, which is, I don't even know how to feel whether that is, because is like being the head, like the top celebrity of Fan Expo really forgiveness for your anti-Semitism, or is it the punishment for your, you know what I mean? I don't imagine. What I'm saying is I don't think there's a world in which Mel Gibson isn't blackballed and then does Fan Expo at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he manages to be big enough that he never does a Fan Expo.
If there was never a downturn, he's not doing Fan Expo for sure. Because is Tom Cruise doing Fan Expo? No. And he was arguably Tom Cruise.
Even Bruce
level.
Willis.
Yeah.
I think Bruce Willis is a very good comparable. And I mean, he's all bunged up or whatever, right? Isn't Bruce Willis going to die any day or something?
Yeah.
What does he have?
Something about like his fucking speech and
Right-wing
brain is dying.
Yeah. He's dying of frustrated old man disease.
Yeah.
It's just something that frustrated old men get.
I think his body is falling asleep on him, like his face or something. I
Sick.
forget what it is.
Yeah.
Or no, that was Bieber I'm thinking of. He had the face.
Well, people said
thing.
that was COVID.
Like
the
the vaccine.
Yeah, people blame Bieber's face on the vax.
By the way, this is maybe because we were going to talk something else, so I'm just going to throw it out there. We can talk some other time. There's a lot going on with Tulsi Gabbard, eh? You know?
We can get to Tulsi. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I started watching. So I've been away all week. It is crazy how fast the world moves. That like I simply went to fucking Northern Ontario for 3 days, and like I came back and I tried to catch up on all of Tulsi's decisions were made by a cult. Which is, by the way, though. So okay, apparently this stems back from when she was running for president, though. Correct?
No, so what I heard, again, you don't know how accurate a YouTube video is, but the last video I listened to on the way here
Was it Breaking Points?
Well, I listened to Breaking Points first.
Okay.
And then I said, this is a short drive.
Crystal Sager, I'll be on whenever you want. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, that would help us a lot. So yeah, say yes to that. No, I listened to a shorter video, so whatever. But they said up until today, they found like emails between her and him. So yes, that was probably the height of him. Like, they're saying giving direction, but he was still around now.
Now this is gonna come off as me being a Tulsi defender because I have a very noted history of liking Tulsi Gabbard quite a bit.
Yeah.
But
she's hot. Yeah.
Well, and hey, listen, I argued that if you guys wanted all of the things when we were having the arguments in 2016, one side wanted one person because essentially nothing more than she was a lady.
Yeah.
And the other side wanted the interventionist Trump whatever shit.
Yeah.
And whatever. Tulsi Gabbard was the marriage of all of those things. She had a non-interventionist foreign policy, and she had a very Bernie Sanders like domestic policy. I think that Tulsi was like a wonderful pick. You get your lady. She's technically even a lady of color. I don't even remember why. She's Polynesian or some fucking.
Yeah.
She has a white strip in her hair, so she makes her a different
rogue.
race.
I
don't know. Whatever. Yeah, she has even SNL. That's when you knew SNL just didn't have it. During that, like, because Trump could have really brought SNL back, and they really thought it did, but when they had Tulsi, like when they characterized Tulsi as part of their debate sketches, they made her Cruella DeVille. Like that was the character, is that she was Cruella,
it's lazy,
and you're like, just the hair thing is the whole thing. Like, did you look into nothing else about this lady other than she's like a Polynesian? Like surfing, shooting, in the military, Hindu. Like there are so many interesting. Apparently, being led by a cult the entire time.
Yeah.
Like there was so many interesting things about this woman, and the best that SNL could do was go, that fucking strip in her hair, huh? Like,
and I'm okay with the crux of that joke if it's introduced in a way of like, we're gonna do this skit that she's Cruella DeVille. And we're admitting it's for no other reason than it's a dumb.
Yes, if you could have broke the fourth wall and gone, we're not even looking into this lady. Like there's times where they've spoofed people where they're like, well, we just literally don't know anything about you, so we're kind of joking that like you're anonymous. That's been the bit about a lot of candidates. This one was like, you kill dogs, and it's just like I don't know. Anyways. But yeah, so Tulsi's, she's led by a cult. How I would love to know what percentage of these people are led by cults. First of all, I'd rather she be led by whatever goofy cult she's being led by than fucking APAC. That's a cult. You know what I mean? Like they're all getting advice through emails from people. It's called their donors. At least this guy's doing it for free.
Yeah, and I mean, you could argue, me being a Christian man of God, I don't want to say this out loud, but remember Obama had that whole thing with Reverend Wright?
Yeah.
He had his leader who they said at the time, this informs every decision he makes. This is bad, And then everyone was arguing like, no, he just listens to this person because they've known each other for a long time. Tulsi, a little tougher to swallow when it's a full-on cult, but still,
They're
technically,
all full-on cults to me.
Yeah.
Like, this is the problem when we get into all of this, is that there's a huge percentage of the population who views all of this as cults. How many Mormons are in fucking Congress? Like, has Utah ever put a non-Latter-day Saints fucking representative in the Congress?
Yeah.
Like, all of these are cults. So I don't care what cult, like, it doesn't really... I would love to know more about the cult. Is it a nice cult?
Well, I mean, the name of it is a tough sell.
All right,
I'm not
hit
going to
me.
lie.
Hit
It's a
me
tough
with-
sell
hit me with the
because you'll
name.
connect it to something else.
Okay.
It's Science of Identity Foundation, which
I have more problem with identity than I have with
Yeah,
science.
that's
in
what
it.
I did think
The
you would have a problem
identity is kind of the part that I'm dubious of. Yeah, listen, the Scientology is the same thing. It's like, I don't know, man. All these people spend so much goddamn time like harassing Scientology. I've done it. I used to get kicked out of the Galleria Mall in Buffalo, New York. Whenever me and Topher Harrison, a good old comic friend of mine, a very funny guy who now works in rehab centers, we would go to the Galleria Mall. We'd go to Buffalo for a gig, and we'd go to the Galleria Mall in the afternoon, and they had a Scientology kiosk, which very clearly only targeted black people. That white people would walk by all day, and they'd never stop them for a fucking second. The first black person to walk by, they're like, hey, we think you're lower intelligence. We would stand above them
targeting,
and just harass, tell them to run, tell them whatever. And they would get kicked out of the mall, and then we would just come back because it's a fucking mall. They're never going to remember. So we would harass. What's the point? It's all the same. Ultimately, what's tied? What's Israel? You're all supposed to give 10%, dog. People being like, oh, Scientology takes your money. It all takes your money.
Yeah.
It's all supposed to take your money. Are you a good Christian? Because you're supposed to give up 10% of everything you make. If you're a good Christian, you're supposed to throw that in the coffer. So, I don't know. Why does the state of Israel exist in this way? Because good Jews throw their fucking money at it. It's not just the American taxpayer. It's a lot of the American taxpayer. And I think that's where you're running into issues with Israel. But it's also just, you're a good Jew. It's not just America. Good Jew anywhere is supposed to throw some money back to Israel.
And you know me,
have
I
a
like
place to
to
escape.
I like to be fair on the other side. A lot of terrorism, Islam-wise, that's the culty side.
It's funded by their states. Of course it is. They're all funded by the states. They're all, whether you give them the tax benefit or you just give them the handout. Either way, you're funded by the state.
Look, you can call it other things or whatever, but if you want to be even nicer to him, I guess you could say Osama bin Laden, cult leader.
Yes.
He led a cult.
Yeah. Happened to be a violent one.
Yeah. They aren't all violent. Some of them are. Some of them aren't. You know.
Yeah. And by the way, to get back to that, what was that organization again? He was a part of my uncle Al. What was that called again? Al Qaeda.
Al Qaeda. Yeah.
And so, who did Trump in the last week tell the world should be in charge of the situation in Lebanon over Bibi Netanyahu, Syria's president and former Al Qaeda leader? Trump had to literally come out this week and go, I think Al Qaeda's a better choice, possibly.
I've been getting this feeling, and I could probably 100% wrong in this because I'm not well informed. I feel like Al Qaeda is making a real publicity turn.
Al Qaeda, the quaint terrorist.
Yeah, but I think they're like trying to get the terrorism thing in their rearview mirror, and they're like, no, we're a party.
Listen, because there's always two arms of all of this. Hamas was the government of Gaza. It's also a terrorist organization. There tends to be these things. That's why Israel funded Hamas in the first place, was because the PLO was literally a government. The PLO, which was in charge of Palestine. I still think in charge of parts of the West Bank. I'm not entirely sure how that works, to be completely honest with you. I think it's like a similarly named entity runs the West Bank, but is not the PLO. But what? Fatah. Is that the name of the guy though, or the group? The group. Okay. So but the PLO was like a legitimate, like we used to just talk about Yasser Arafat. Like he was just a fella who was part of diplomacy. Like Israel would tell you he's bad and whatever, but there's not like a Hamas fella that we just like that shows up to the UN and talks. You know what I mean? Like I don't think they have like a guy like that. Yasser Arafat used to be able to the Oslo Accords or whatever. Like that was like a meeting that in the early 2000s where actual representatives sat down and whatever, and then we gave them an election and never again. Yeah. So all of these things can kind of become, if you want to call these things cults, you can call them fucking cults ultimately if you want to. Like, have you been following the Reckless Ben Lego saga at all?
No, what's that?
I can't believe you haven't even. It's been like a Justice League of the entire internet. Has come together on this particular case. I don't even want to get into it so much because I feel like there was like 2 weeks where everything was like every content creator was just doing this Lego shit, but it's like all Mormon shit. I clicked it off and clicked it back on.
You're good.
It's all Mormon shit. It's all just like Utah County, it's called American Fork, whatever, but they're all just kind of conspiring together. But also at the same time, these kids keep getting involved and I think they're trying to get this Reckless Ben, this YouTuber with like, I don't know this for sure, but I assume they're trying to go for like a racketeering, harassment-y. Not that it would be called racketeering, but the idea that because other people are doing things, that harassment still goes to him ultimately. But it's just that this guy makes videos that people like, so now people are participating. And so he's kind of being blamed for his audience for certain things.
Yeah.
And like, you can't do that. If somebody in my audience decides to go, decides to hurt Talib Kweli because I have an issue with him. Like, it's not my fault. Don't hurt Talib Kweli. I'm not telling you to. Like, if you decide to on your own and go, I like Rob, that's not whatever. I mean, you for sure could because Talib Kweli's a fucking pussy. But I'm just goading Talib Kweli into a fight.
I like that you said I like Rob. So it is funny to think of somebody doing something heinous in their great leader Rob, and then they just go, I like him. Yeah, he's cool. He's all right.
Yeah, it's good content. He missed his episode last week, but he said he had World Cup fever. How bad is it getting to here for you right now? Is it a disaster getting around? You're kind of north of.
Yeah, I'm north of it. So I just, I've tried not to like head into the downtown too much. Like I've been trying to like head to like an open mic here and there just to like keep the muscle strong between like gigs. And that I'm like, I could take a couple weeks of like a little less. Yeah, the ones that are less out of the.
I mean, we've been unaffected because we just live down here. We don't have to drive and whatever.
Walk
until this morning when we had to get into fucking town from Elora. And during Iraq, Senegal. And I mean, congratulations to the Senegalese today.
I'm much more in favor of them.
I was going to there's a new Iraqi restaurant that opened up across the street from us. Pretty good spot. We did eat there regardless. But we were going to go watch the game for a little bit. We were going to sit down. We thought it'd be a nice cultural experience.
Sure.
And then we noticed they were down 3-0 by the time we were going to go over. And we were like, we're going to let the Iraqis eat in peace. We're going to go ahead and whatever.
Be in their own depression. Yeah.
I mean, listen, I don't want to come off Islamophobic, but after the traffic I experienced coming into town today, they deserved everything that happened between 2003 and 2018 or whatever. Yeah, whatever we actually got out of there. It's a nightmare. And it's like everything that's been annoying about the city leading up to this World Cup. Like, I remember there's just things I would like witness in the city where I'm like, when the World Cup comes, that's going to be hilariously bad. And I live in the epicenter of it. If you're not familiar with Toronto, we have streetcars. And I feel like a lot of people don't get. Streetcars seem quaint to other people.
Yeah.
I understand why we have some of them because they're adorable, right? Like
Yeah,
people
yeah,
come
yeah.
here and they go, look at the train that's on the street. That's so fun. Whatever. There should be one streetcar. We have the longest streetcar ride in the world is down Queen Street. From one end of Queen Street to the other is that's like the longest streetcar track in the world. Besides the ones that they've built like in like their own little lanes for or whatever, get rid of all the rest of them. It's fucking nuts. It's a stupid idea. It takes up 2 lanes of traffic. It's fucking dumb. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
It's the worst thing. I remember like when you really start driving in the city, which for me now is like so many years ago, but still, you watch it and as it stops, but then also puts the flashing lights that you cannot pass because people are coming onto it, you go, oh, this is insane.
Yeah.
This is not the best way.
And they're cunts. Like they won't. So like, okay, so I'm going to try to my best to convey this to the people who don't live in Toronto. Imagine you have 2 lanes of traffic, right? And there's a streetcar in one that you want to pass because it's a fucking streetcar. So you're in the right lane. So you have to stop for them when the doors are open, like you said, of course.
Yeah.
But even once they close, you get up now, you're next to the front of the streetcar, you're at a red light with the streetcar. The amount of times the streetcar tries to beat you off the fucking jump is insane.
Yeah.
It does nothing. And it's like, I want to psychologically evaluate the drivers. What does this do to your, like, how is this helping anybody? The streetcar drivers. So if you ever come to Toronto and you see them, they have a glass partition that separates them from the customers. And that's because otherwise we'd beat them to death daily. Like we would literally be killing streetcar drivers. We'd be going to the next stop. I would literally zoom ahead, get to the next stop, park my car, wait for the streetcar until it arrives, and then get on and drag the driver into the street and beat him to death in front of an audience. I'm going to keep saying he just to make it cool. But it's crazy. So now they have these red lines along major throughways in Toronto for the streetcars that you can't drive on now. So they've taken major streets in Toronto and went, it's one lane.
It's one lane only.
All the time. Doesn't matter if there's a streetcar in sight. It is one lane now. And they're ticketing people for this shit. Like they're actually doing it now for the World Cup, which is the dumbest time to possibly do it in the world. We literally today, when we got into town, we drove in. I had to take the craziest route so we didn't drive through crowds of Senegalese people with our car. And so we get to the venue to drop a few things off from our journeys and have to just pull a fentanyl addict out of the alleyway because he's just full asleep right across the alley. So me and this other guy, and this is how crazy things have gotten, is that I'm not even like, I'm using Narcan as a threat against them now because they hate Narcan so much. That I don't even have one on me. We used it. It's gone. We don't have one. And I'll go, I'm going to get a fucking Narcan, man. So like, I'm going to fuck up your high. Like you have to explain to them, I'm about to waste your drugs.
I'm going to sober you up. In one moment.
And you're going to be fucking pissed because you just spent whatever money you had on these drugs and now I'm about to ruin them for you. So you got to get up, dude. Or I'm going to ruin your high. And then like eventually me and a fucking old Middle Eastern man got him to his feet and got him out of the way or whatever. And like, I'm just watching all of this and somewhere in my head, I'm just picturing Olivia Chow dancing. Like the fucking image of Olivia Chow are Hillary Clinton. If you're not familiar with Olivia Chow, she was the person that Jack Layton got caught going to a rub and tug with. Remember Jack Layton got caught going to a rub and tug?
I forgot about that.
Jack Layton was one of our great politicians. I would like to remind people, by the way, because this is what frustrates me about the fucking World Cup thing more than anything else, is that I'm a believer in this shit. I love Keynesian economics, right? The idea of liberal economics is that you do something like this, you build a fucking CN Tower, or you put on a big event like the Olympics, like the World Cup, like WrestleMania. Let's start throwing that bad boy in. What's more WrestleMania, less World Cup, Toronto. You do one of those, and then people come to town, and they spend money in restaurants, and local businesses succeed, and the hotels are full, and whatever. Well, what was the only thing you fucking heard about on the way to the World Cup was, what are hotel prices? Oh, the hotel prices are only at $400. They're not. They didn't meet expectations. They thought the average hotel price in the city was going to be $900 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
$900. Why do you want that? Why is that the goal? Like, what does the $900 a night person do for me? What does a $900 a night person do for fucking anybody? Like, there is no. The $900 person doesn't go to the shawarma shop after they go to the game.
No.
And then hit up a local bar and whatever. They stay in super prestigious hotels, probably the ones they found out the players will be in, which is, by the way, if you want to meet the players, they're at the St. Edwards, which is where John Lennon and Yoko Ono did a bet in back in the day. And now that's where a bunch of Bosnians slept. That's so they stay in places like that. And then they go back to their hotels and then they leave in a helicopter. Like, nothing is being helped by any of this. This is not Keynesian economics. Like, the whole, all the events are ticketed city events. Like the Fan Fest. You can't just go to Fan Fest.
Yeah.
You have to have fucking tickets to go to Fan Fest. Is Fan Fest at a local venue owned by, is Fan Fest being spread across the city like a North by Northeast or Canadian Music Week or one of these things? Can you see Fan Fest as the Dogs Bullocks down the street? Does that have anything to do with Fan Fest? Does Real Sports? Does fucking Finn McCool's? Do any of these have? No, of course not. You can go watch the games there, but nobody's there.
Yeah.
Because the fucking everyone's at Fan Fest. It's a big thing where you're gonna herd a bunch of people in to a part of town where they're gonna support no local businesses. There's nothing around there. There's maybe a couple of convenience stores and a Subway. Like, there's nothing. So what did you help? You have all these cops everywhere, and somewhere in the fucking city, I promise you right now, as I was dragging a fentanyl addict to his feet, Olivia Chow was dancing somewhere. She was just dancing. Like, it's just tone deaf. Like, we're not there.
Yeah.
This isn't time for the fucking dancing bear to be in charge of the city. You know, like, this is like, we're in real, serious, things aren't okay. And it's not Toronto's fault. I was just in Barrie. It's an hour north of here.
Yeah.
The sleepy, they call it a bedroom community. And they should call it a bedroom community because people are sleeping all over the streets. The whole place is a bedroom for fentanyl addicts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Every day in Barrie, they pray for rain to the point where Lake Simcoe rises up so that they can get a fucking insurance claim and get the fuck out of there. It's a nightmare. It's everywhere. This is COVID's fault. This is not the fault of liberal drug policies of No, it has nothing to do with that. This was COVID. We shut the world down for 2 years. Deaths of despair happen. Like, sometimes I look around and I go, oh man, what is whatever? And like, I don't agree with all these things. I think some of it's too far. Clean injection sites fine. Free drug program too much. Like, I think there's
a balance.
There's a balance. Do I think that those are the reasons that we have fentanyl addicts all through the fucking streets? No, man. It's because we have no purpose. We have nothing in our lives. You want to get rid of the drug addicts? Social fucking programs, like infrastructure programs, jobs, jobs. That's how you beat the fucking fentanyl crisis.
I am a believer in people do less drugs if it's harder to get those drugs in the city. We're just not doing a great job, I guess, of keeping them
But it's not hard to get the drugs ever.
Yeah. But don't they go through times of like, oh, like Coke is really expensive because like
we made a bust and we whatever.
Yeah.
Guess what happens to Coke then? They just step on it more. It's not like Coke goes away.
Yeah.
You just get shittier Coke, right? Like, I mean, that's essentially if anyone in New York City is watching this, you'll be familiar with K2. And K2 is an interesting story. K2 was synthetic weed when it began. What has now become K2, I actually did probably in about 2013, 2012 time. It was called Black Mamba at the time. And they would give it away in front of head shops in New York City. And there was no legal weed, of course. But, you still had bong shops and rolling papers and whatever stores. And they would sell you basically what the equivalent would be. Now they would sell you Delta 8, if you're familiar, which is like a part of the cannabis plant that's technically legal in like 48 states out of 50. It's for whatever reason, it hits a loophole that Delta 8's just fine.
Oh, okay.
It's
gotcha.
like kind of weed, but it's not quite weed. To be honest, it just made me feel a little anxious. I didn't really particularly care for it.
Hash-like, I guess?
Jesus Christ, it wishes. Hash is fantastic. It's just shit weed. Like, you can just tell it's as if they just went like, hey, we're not ready to make weed legal, so we'll make bad weed legal.
Yeah.
Before that was synthetic weed. And I know I'm familiar with this. My mom was on synthetic weed prescribed by the government at one period of time, which I wish they would have just gave her weed. I don't know why they didn't just give her weed ultimately, but for some reason she got synthetic weed. When my mom was smoking at the end of her life, my mom's spine was shattered. I don't even know what that means ultimately. Still to this day, I remember a doctor looking me in the eyes and going, your mom, her spine was shattered. And I was like, so she's like a puddle? How do you even...
Could she walk?
Eventually. Like, she was in a wheelchair for a while after, but that was sort of a degenerated thing over time.
Right.
The spine shattering, they just stuck some fucking... honestly, I was thinking about my mom's ashes the other day, yesterday. I was having a conversation with Kennedy's dad about it, and because I was explaining the situation where the ashes were supposed to be divvied up, and that was my confusion about thinking my mom's ashes were missing. Was that they were supposed to divvy them up into 2 containers, and they just put her all in one. And I thought about it. I was like, man, the amount of my mom that would have just been like a steel exoskeleton would have been pretty dramatic.
I've wondered about that. Like, when you cremate,
they separate it.
They don't
just burn the metal with you.
But they just never bring it up, right? Like the funeral home, they just...
I don't think they offer you...
No.
At no point did they offer me my mom's metal spine.
Yeah.
Which would have been amazing. I mean, it would have been up in the club already.
Yeah, you have the
It would have
guy.
been the logo.
Yeah.
What's the logo about again? I don't... Oh, it's my mom's metal spine.
Metal spine.
Yeah. So, which mom's metal spine, pretty cool name for a band. But
that's not a bad name.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't even remember where we got to with this.
Well, we were talking about Olivia Chow and her dancing
and the fentanyl addicts. So they give my mom's so K2. That's where I was. What happened was they had the synthetic weed, early versions like I smoked, Black Mamba, whatever. Because they wanted to make that illegal, they would keep making the chemical compound illegal. And then they would change the chemical compound slightly.
Sure.
So then it was legal again. And this game went on for years and years and years until what was completely harmless in the beginning became life-ruiningly addictive and like physically crippling. K2 is as bad as the fentanyl problem in New York City. And as far as I can tell, it is a pretty particularly New York-based drug problem.
Okay.
Like a lot of the leaners in New York City are K2 people, not fentanyl addicts. If you see leaners there, they're not always necessarily on fent. But that's just an example of stupid drug policies getting in the way of things. The fake weed was fine. It was completely harmless. Then they made it a little more harmful and a little more harmful and a little more harmful and a little more harmful until it was a real problem. Like liberal drug policies do for the most part. And by the way, red states. Hey, if you think Barrie is a blue city problem, and for Canadians, we'll flip it and say red liberal drug policy problem. How? Is Barrie in some way a super liberal city am I missing? Is Doug Ford, the conservative, not in charge of the province? Like, where is this liberal drug policy coming from?
They would argue, if you're talking to Americans, they would argue that even our conservatives are liberal to them. That's something I've heard before.
Sure. Okay. You ever been to West Virginia before? You ever seen
yet.
how about this? Instead of that, have you ever seen a documentary called The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia?
No, but I know of it.
Yeah. And do those people not have drug problems? Do the people in Louisiana not have drug problems? Do the people... No, you have different drug problems. You don't have a population. You know, why is Chicago not the leader every year in murders per capita? Because Gary fucking Indiana is going to beat them every single time per capita. Red states don't have people, but they do have drugs and they do have murder.
Yeah.
Like, they will never not win in per capita in any of that shit. They don't have a better situation. Like, these people are fucking messes.
That's an interesting fact, I guess, or truth. I mean, I'm assuming it's a fact because I'm just listening to you and I didn't look it up to disagree
I would
with
love.
that.
I know Gary for a fact is regularly and it will be. It's fun because people will. They're liars. They're liars, and I'm not even. I'm not even leaving this as my opinion. They're just liars. They will tell you, well, Chicago's right there. Of course, Gary's going to be.
Yeah.
No, it's the opposite. Where do you? They will swear up and down. And this is why the argument of, oh, look at the gun deaths in the blue state. There's no borders, dickhead. Gary, Indiana is 20 minutes from the south side of Chicago.
Right.
Where do you think the guns in the south side of Chicago come from? You think they come from Illinois? No. They come from Indiana.
Yeah.
The first time I ever played a small town in Indiana was a place called Jeffersonville. I want to say it was like Jefferson something, but Jefferson was not enough. They had to add like a little suffix to it.
Yeah.
And I remember I did some Roadhouse ass bar, and I had no weed. I was living back in Canada at the time. I drove my mom's handicap van down into Indiana to do this gig. I got a hotel and the money, and there was no weed to be found. So I asked a waitress after the gig for weed. She was like, well, you'll have to like come back to my place. And I was like, not waiting that out, and I'm not doing that.
Okay.
And so she's like, oh, that guy's got weed if you want to talk to him. Now, this gentleman was not at the show. He was in the back, so he has no idea what I'm about.
Sure.
He hasn't seen my act. He hasn't heard anything. He hasn't whatever. So all he knows is I'm Canadian and I'm looking for weed.
Sure.
So I follow this guy to his truck, and it was no short of 40. The first thing that came out of his mouth was, oh, in Indiana, it's pretty hard to get a gun. If you have like any violent criminal background, it could be like 2 weeks before you get a gun. That was his like gripe with the ability to get a gun in the state of Indiana. That's how easy it is. So you don't think... And then, by the way, he also then went on to tell me that it is fun because this was like 2017, and now all the things he said are pretty commonplace. But back then it was like, he was like, well, the Rothschilds are pushing the gay agenda to ruin America, to whatever. It was like all, and by the way, if you're a Canadian living in the US, if you want to tell are you about to not enjoy the conversation you're about to have? If their reference point for Canada is Trailer Park Boys, you're in trouble.
Right.
That's about to be a very rough conversation.
What's a good one?
Degrassi. I think Degrassi has always been sort of the go-to intellectual point of view. This might just be my Kevin Smith fandom ultimately.
Sure.
But yeah, Degrassi has always sort of been the, you guys, whatever. Yeah. It's also equally annoying when like an American goes, oh, I just want to live up there. You're like, shut up.
Yeah.
You don't fucking even know what that means either.
Yeah. It's not as good as you think it is.
No, and it is better than where you're from, but at the same time, relax.
There's a limit. It's like, you ever seen that show 90 Day Fiance?
Yeah.
It's like they'll take people out of fucking poverty or whatever where they're from, and I get that. That's worse. Yeah. But still, they'll take them out of there, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I'm coming to America," and then they'll take them to Ohio.
Yeah.
And people are like,
Plus, you got to be married to. I can't watch 90 Day Fiance because it reminds me of my mom. My mom never did
"Oh yeah,
that.
you told me, yeah."
But for some reason, there's something about the archetype of the old women who go get like a Kenyan guy that reminds me of my mom too much.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some sadness there. Yes, but yeah, Olivia Chow, I like picturing. You remember you used to be able to get like a dancer on your desktop?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah. It just,
always dancing, no matter what you're doing.
Like literally, the fucking stadium could collapse during like the new stands that they built to make the field
it's
bigger.
bad. Yeah.
It's listen, we're Canada. They ain't collapsing.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this is what I will say about regulation and all these things. That shit ain't collapsing.
Yeah,
It
it's been
looks
checked.
shitty.
Yeah.
It's an eyesore, but it ain't collapsing. But let's say it did. Let's say a good 3,000 people just collapsed at the Iraq-Senegal game. Let's for a moment imagine that a more than 9/11 amount of people had a stadium collapse in Toronto, ironically during a soccer match involving Iraq. Let's for a second imagine that. I still think within 24 hours of that event, you could capture video footage of Olivia Chow dancing. I don't think there's a chance with 3,000 human lives on her hands that she would take a day off, not dancing in private. I'm not saying like she realized she had a private moment with a loved one and like the weight of the world just kind of disappeared for that one moment in time. Those moments are precious. Like when sometimes the world's falling down around you, you need just that little fucking break, right? Where you're like, it's not for anybody else. It's not whatever. Let's say your father died right before your baby shower. You know what I mean? Even in those circumstances, you could find a moment where maybe in a moment of catharsis, you found yourself dancing privately for a moment.
Sure.
This is not what I mean with Olivia Chow.
Yeah.
I'm saying she could show up to the site of a stadium collapse, and maybe not all 3,000 people died, but a lot of them are still missing in the rubble. We're not entirely sure. We know there's a lot of casualties. Let's say there's at least 800 confirmed casualties, but there's still about 1,200 people missing, let's say, and then a lot of other people injured. She shows up. She surveys the damage. She maybe makes a statement. But before that day's done, she's showing up to another public event and she's dancing her Asian ass off. She is doing her little fucking thing.
Yeah.
It's incredible. This woman will dance through anything.
Well, we've hired a cheerleader as our mayor.
I mean, that's essentially, she was just Jack Layton's wife.
Yeah.
This is our Hillary Clinton. And like, she's going to get destroyed in this mayoral election.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't think that's what, like, if she just stopped dancing for a minute, she might win. Like, there's a chance that this fucking retard city might actually, and again, I'm a liberal. I want to make this very clear. I don't even hate her policies.
Yeah.
Renaming Yonge and Dundas to Sankofa, it's not that anyone's offended by the idea. Oh, my Yonge and Dundas. No one gives a fuck about Yonge and Dundas. I assure you. No one is offended. Nobody's whatever. It's emblematic of the not giving a shit about the right things attitude that this city has currently. We have the fucking Olympic. Do you know what Detroit did when they got the Super Bowl? I remember making fun of this. Detroit, when they got the Super Bowl, they put all of their homeless people in suits and they gave them briefcases.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Where are the fucking suits? Where are the briefcases? We could have used a couple of fucking suits on these fentanyl addicts. Do something. Put them in a goddamn giant tent for the duration of the month. Give us a break. I mean, it's not even for the other people. Let us have a break. We have to deal with the traffic. At least I don't have a fentanyl addict on my fucking porch. Like, it's something. Give us something. Show us that you put some sort of effort into the correct location for like 5 fucking minutes in any way at all. But you didn't. You renamed a bunch of shit. You're in the process of putting beavers and fucking geese and shit on the fucking subway exits because indigenous people, please write in if you're watching the show. That's got to be offensive, right? Like, imagine in the gay village, they started putting a bunch of cocks on the fucking exit, cocks and buttholes, and like prophylactics and like a little eyedropper for fucking poppers at every. They're like, oh, I'm at the poppers exit of the fucking. Do they think that indigenous people are genuinely retarded? Like, because that's the attitude it sort of gives. At the end of the day, they're like, oh, well, we can't write West. We have to put a picture of a fucking beaver because they're the dumbest fucking people who've ever lived. Like, it's offensive, no?
I would assume.
Like,
I just like the idea that you just introduced of, like, just focusing on the wrong thing.
Like, they don't. Drive through an indigenous fucking. Drive through a reserve. I went and got gas at a reserve this week. Guess what the number on the gas thing said? It said 155.8. It didn't say beaver, duck. It had numbers, and they knew what the numbers meant. Like, we're the most racist people who have ever lived because we think we're compassionate. It's crazy. It's just offensive. Oh, okay, well, up at Bathurst and Lawrence from now on, we're going to put an amount of dollars. We're going to put 3 coins for this exit and 2 coins for this exit so the stupid Jews can figure out how to get out of the train. Like, what are we talking about? Like, it's like in Scarborough, we're going to put a gun and a piece of chicken. Like, what the fuck? And it's not, by the way, I don't even know why Young and Dundas is the indigenous one, but that's.
I thought it was, I thought it was like Nigerian or something. Sankofa.
Well, Sankofa is Ghana, not Guyana, but Ghana.
Ghana, yeah.
It's also where the fucking slave trade was. I don't even I don't even like. I hate that you have to like regurgitate conservative talking points in this fucking city.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that I feel like a Six Bugs fucking dickhead because I want to point out that, like, why did we rename Young and Dundas? We're like, oh, okay, so Dundas, the whole idea is supposed to be that this Dundas fella, whose first name I don't even fucking know, because who cares? He was Don. Yeah, Don Dundas. Dun. His name was Dun Dundas.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't even fucking know anything about this guy except for he owns slaves. That's the only thing I know. I'm assuming at a time when everyone owned slaves.
I do think it's very, very likely that the day they did the big reveal, I'm assuming they did a big reveal of Sankofa Square or whatever, there was a fentanyl addict on the corner just overdosing.
There was a human trafficking victim on the corner. I mean, like, there's more slaves today than there's ever been at any point in human history. You ever been to the Chinatown Center?
Chinatown Center? Which one is that?
Just up Spadina over here.
I mean,
there's got to be people in the walls of that fucking place.
Yeah.
I mean, there are human trafficking people left, right, and center in that goddamn place. There's more. That's not a salacious thing to say. There are more slaves in the world today than at any point in human history. The slave trade is alive and well.
Yeah.
Like, we are doing A-okay. So what is even the point of what is the touchdown on Sankofa? Like, why not just call it Little St. James fucking Station? We still got slaves. Like, what is the point? It just doesn't make any fucking sense. And because Dundas owned a slave, you got to make it the place, but where the slaves came from. Like, Sankofa was the place they sold slaves out of.
But, like, even that, I just go like, okay, whatever. People don't research proper, whatever. They're well intentioned, but it is just funny to think that, like, there's a list of things we got to take care of, and this got bumped up past probably some not-for-profit organization that was waiting for funding to do something, and they went, no, we got to do the Sankofa thing first.
Yeah.
Let's get to that later.
Like, it's just, at some point in this city right now, you do look at it and go, are you destroying yourself on purpose? Like, is this a controlled demolition of the downtown core? Let me make that very clear. I think that this is meant to break the city up in parts on purpose. You look at something like Nuit Blanche. If you're not familiar with Nuit Blanche, it's like a French tradition. It's called White Night is what it means. It's the first Saturday in October.
Where a bunch of guys find girls being hit on by other guys and then walk them away and hit on them after.
Hit on them. Yeah. They go, hey, she's not looking for that tonight. Let me give you a ride home.
Roofies.
Yeah.
White Night.
Nuit Blanche used to be
stuff,
completely downtown. The entire downtown was a huge art installation. It was one of my favorite nights of the year. And at some point they went, well, it's not fair that everything's downtown. We need to have Nuit Blanche in Scarborough, in North York, in Etobicoke, and they spread it out everywhere. And now nobody gives a fuck about any single fucking part of it because the idea was we all came downtown together and had a nice time. We all came together as a community, and they don't want that. Like, why are we called the Six? Because we're the 6 amalgamated cities of Toronto. We are East York, North York, Etobicoke, Scarborough, and whatever the other 2 were. I don't remember. But that's what we are. That's the point. And they wanted to go back to that. They don't like this downtown shenanigans. Like, you watch. If another stadium ever gets built in this city, it ain't getting built anywhere down here again. It'll be up there. It'll be over there. Like, they should just start calling Scarborough Draketown. We need to rename a lot of the city. Everything east of the DVP should be called Draketown from now on. And you are a citizen of Draketown. And then north...
I don't like this as much.
Hey, listen. It is what it is, dog. Who opened history? You know, who opened the only...
I'll live in Chauclair Town. Thank you very much.
Chauclair Town. That's also Scarborough. Chocolate City. It'll all new markets. It will be called Little China. Downtown will be called Little China. Etobicoke will be called Little China. No, but they need to... That's the plan. They want to break this city the fuck up. They don't like that we treat this as a destination and those as bedrooms. They want it all to be like a little area that you stay in and you don't leave. Like New York City. New York City does this very well. You do travel. Like, listen, I used to stay with Andrew Schultz in New York City. I would stay. He lives in Astor Place, like an apartment attached to his parents' place, and I would stay with him in New York. And if you asked Andrew, a guy who grew up there in Astor Place, about 7th and 7th, roughly, he couldn't tell you a restaurant recommendation, whatever. He couldn't tell you anything within not in 10 square blocks of his city. He's a New Yorker, but he's an East Villager. He's a Soho guy. If slightly under whatever. Like, that's what he is. That's what they want from us. They want you to be in North York and not leave. They want another person to be in Scarborough. They want another person to be in Etobicoke, and they want them to be their own little fucking enclaves in the city, and we never have to meet. You know, why is there? You ever go to the East End and just go, oh, that's so weird. They kind of just got one of everything we have. Remember, like, they would.
What do you mean?
They would get like Rudy, great burger place down here. Oh, all of a sudden there's a Rudy on the East End now.
Right.
You know?
But that's more like franchising of those things.
But it's also just like, hey, this way you don't have to come down here. Like, it's okay if a place is just, it exists right here and it's fucking great and you come in.
Right. But by that argument, I've always had an issue with we've of recent been pushing too much to just downtown. In that, like, almost to the point where they would go, let's do the Taste of the Danforth off of Lakeshore for some reason. Like, that's like the moving of the Science Center to downtown nonsensical to me.
Where is the Science Center now?
It's moving to Lakeshore area. I think
Is it going into where Ontario Place was?
Yeah, basically, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. But right now, it was at Don Mills and Eglinton, basically.
Yeah.
And that's where it's been for so many years since I was a kid, so 20-something years.
You guys are brown and don't care about the Science Center. So we had the fucking whatever, which is ironic because you guys should have cared about it more.
No,
but
it did all right. My issue is there's so much traffic downtown that putting more things there. I agree with you. There shouldn't be an issue with if something is downtown. You don't have to have a version of it everywhere. But I'm just saying then there should be. I'm sure there's Brooklyn festivals that it's not. You know what I mean?
No, yes, there should be those things.
Yeah.
But that's supposed to be your thing. Taste of Danforth is a great example, right? Yeah. We should be going there for Taste of Danforth. We don't need it to spread someplace else. Canada's Wonderland is up there.
Yeah.
If we want to go ride roller coasters,
you go to
there's a place
Ontario.
for that.
Yeah.
If you want something in Etobicoke, build it. Build a fucking thing that makes me go to Etobicoke for some reason.
Yeah. I guess there's something there. I don't know. I'm born there, so I feel like I want to defend it
and somehow, but there's really no good reason to go to Etobicoke.
Yeah. That is one thing I think about. I'm not born in Toronto technically because I'm born pre-amalgamation in Etobicoke.
Is this as if you were born in Hong Kong before
That's
1997?
correct.
Yes,
that is correct.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Listen, I'm going to end this one, but because I didn't do an episode last week, we're going to do a bonus episode. But I'm going to warn you, I'm experimenting with something to see how people feel about this. What you might not know about me, because I try to suffocate it on this podcast, is I'm a huge hoops guy. I care about basketball very deeply. This week was a very annoying week for my girlfriend because there was 2 major trades in the NBA plus the NBA draft. Mm-hmm. And she had to sit very silently during a lot of podcasts during long drives this week.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So if you're a basketball person, there's going to be another episode that comes out. I don't know. We'll put it out immediately after. Let's just release them as 2 separate episodes, but back to back.
Yeah.
So if you want, next in your algorithm feed, there will be a basketball episode. Actually, you know what? Let's do the day after, just because I'm afraid that if we put out the basketball one, people might, in their SSR or whatever feeds, just hear the basketball one and think that's the episode for the week.
Sure.
So we'll do on Tuesday.
Hoops Tuesdays. Yeah.
Coming up. I might not do a full hour because I don't want to put the Sanker through that, but I'll try to cover as much as I can.
Sure.
As quick as I can. Goodbye.